to Game of the Year, we had Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and obviously Baldur's Gate 3 won. Like, well, I don't know what people were thinking of this, bro. Like, what were you expecting? Honestly, what were you expecting? When? Talk to me.
I genuinely don't know why this even got this much flack. I feel like there's way more reasons to complain about Game Awards than Baldur's Gate not winning. It not winning just kind of shows me that a lot of people really are, and I hate using this word, bro, because it makes it sound so pretentious. A lot of the people are very casual when it comes to their enjoyment of video games, and I feel like if you're gonna be casual about your enjoyment of video games, that's very valid. That's fine, but like, don't sit here and try to act like you know what the fuck you're talking about when it comes to other video games. Like, I still am boggled by the fact that we're still on the conversation of like Baldur's Gate would be a way better game if it wasn't turn-based. It's like, no, bro, if you had the attention span of a normal adult, I think you would really enjoy this game.
Facts.
Like, if you didn't need Subway Surfer to be able to sit through an intro cut, like you'd be enjoying this game as much as most people. But like, the fact that we really still having this conversation of like, is turn-based even like turn-based is lazy or turn-based isn't like the best way of playing a game? Like, I don't know what to tell you, because it just doesn't make sense to me as somebody who, like, most of these people will be like, turn-based is ass, and then be like, yo, let's pull out the Uno cards. Like, what do you mean? That's turn-based, bro. You're not,
facts.
That's literally a turn-based game. It's like, oh, why does Uno work as a turn-based game as opposed to anything else? And it's like, because that way it's kind of fair for everybody. You get an opportunity to like think about your decisions. You get to really strategize. You get to like use your brain. But a lot of people, I guess, are reflex gamers. They only really play with like their ability to do things.
Yeah.
And maybe that's where the disconnect is. Maybe it's a lot of people who are just like, I like to play video games just to test my reaction skills. And a lot of other people like to play video games for, I don't know, story, gameplay, just enjoyment outside of just like, I move my hands quick.
Everything from just under the cranium or nose line down is what they play with. I'm like, dog, where's the brain in it? You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, but we can get right to it. There's just been like this huge pitting of Spider-Man 2 against Baldur's Gate 3 on the timeline ever since the breakout, like you were saying. And it's just like, bro,
I feel bad for y'all.
I feel bad. Let's get this out the way right now. I want to talk about Spider-Man 2 specifically before we jump back to the positive Baldur's Gate 3. Listen, Spider-Man 2 was a good game. It was a solid game. I gave it an 8 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10. I think it was really solid. But if you think it was even in contention to get runner-up in this category, you're out your mind. You're out of your mind, bro. It is literally on the latter end of this conversation. It is probably fourth place at best. Fourth place in this conversation. And this is not a discredit on Insomniac, what they've done and how this game came out. I still thoroughly enjoyed it. It is still one of my favorite games of this year. I had fun. I had fun getting back into this game. But you can't sit there and tell me in the groundbreaking work that at least 2 of these games in this category have done. I'll say 3. I'll count Super Mario Bros. Wonder for how much they reinvented the wheel with the visuals and the gameplay style of all that stuff for a Super Mario format. You mean to tell me that Spider-Man 2 is going to be better than all of those games who literally pretty much reinvented their wheels on their genres and franchises? You're going to tell me that on a series that literally, again, remove some story. Its story was short. Story was pretty short. Again, it wasn't as impactful. I feel like it wasn't as impactful as the first story. Some of the stealth options were removed, and again, we got back into this weeks ago and stuff on our previous episode. Some of the stuff was removed in terms of stealth. I felt like there's just things missing, and I don't know what it is. Some people were saying, hey, maybe Sony was like, yo, you got to get this out this year. But like, yo, Insomniac might have wanted more time to input more than they did in the first game. But I don't know. But all I can say definitively is this is not a better game than Baldur's Gate 3, especially in this conversation and context of 2023. When you said it best on a previous episode, when we predicted Game of the Year, you were like, when Spider-Man 3, when Marvel Spider-Man 3 comes out, I'm not going to touch Marvel Spider-Man 2 ever again. That's fair. But when Baldur's Gate 3, you know what I'm saying? Or when Baldur's Gate 3 is 15 years in the future or whatever, or something like that, I'll come back to it. I'll show my kids this because it has that much depth. They can forge their own path and create something entirely novel. It's that deep. It's that good. And to the people comparing turn-based gameplay to the gameplay of Spider-Man and stuff like that, blah, 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 you're only kind of proving the point. You've been just doing the same gameplay loop right there. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, this game is Spider-Man 3, Spider-Man 2 is so much better than blah, blah, blah. Like, did you not know that the decisions you make in that turn-based combat can change the entire story? There's multiple endings and all that stuff in Baldur's Gate 3. So you might not even be saying this. You might even be getting the same gameplay as the next person, whereas everybody played on the same track as a Spider-Man 2 gameplay, pretty much. Like, I don't think they understand. Again, it's just like, again, I don't like to use the word too, but it's casualness, bro. It's like, again, Marvel's Spider-Man and Marvel are one of the biggest IPs in the world. Everybody's going to try and get their hands on it because they know it's Spider-Man. They know it's Marvel. It's one of those recognizable faces on the planet. We get it. It's true. And they make good games. Insomniac makes good games for the Spider-Man series. But to sit here and say that it did more than an Alan Wake 2, who literally reinvented not only their own franchise, but set a new standard for narrative and storytelling and for gameplay cohesion across their entire production setup, all that stuff. To say it was better than Super Mario, who literally took a whole new step up and out beyond their format of, again, just the 2D scroller series and what they've established, to reinvent that in a brand new way, add multiplayer in as well. Okay, you're wilding. For Legend of Zelda, to say it was better than Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, who literally stood up and, again, expanded and changed the formula on one of the greatest games of all time. And yes, I can say that. They reinvented the wheel on Breath of the Wild. You know what I'm saying? The only game it can chat to is Resident Evil 4. And even then, it's like, bro, they did a remake, but this remake was really, really good. They added a lot of quality and smoothness to it. So there's an argument for Spider-Man to be last place in this conversation. You are closer to last place in this Game of the Year convo than you are to first. I love Spider-Man 2, but there's no way, shape, form, or path in hell that you were going to be Game of the Year this year. That's just facts. That's the facts.
Yeah, and I'll jump on to cooking Spider-Man as well. So like, and the thing is, it wouldn't even get this much hate if y'all didn't like try to like.
Yeah, try to gas it up. You know what I'm saying? You try to put it up there. And again, you're saying this. I'm a Spider-Man fan. That is literally my favorite superhero of all time. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. I get it's a good game, but you gotta face the music, man. Go ahead, Wang. Tag you in.
It's just like saying Spider-Man is the best game of the year is like saying like the Popeyes chicken sandwich is like the best chicken sandwich. It is a really good chicken sandwich, but it's not the best one in the world, because if you go to any other thing, if you eat more than just fast food, you're gonna have something better. Like, that's just kind of what it comes down to. It's like, this is the best fast food game we can get. This is the best in the mainstream mainline. Like, hey, this is like this was designed for the casual consumer. Yes. But when you step out of your comfort zone and you start experiencing these other games, like, you can't even compare Marvel Spider-Man. Like, I'm really sick and tired of like, I don't like turn-based. Then, dog, shut up. Like, it's like saying yo, this is album of the year, but I only listen to country. I only listen to one genre.
Facts.
Like, then you don't know. You don't know. You need to stop speaking because you don't know.
Drake won album of the year clear out of every music genre. I'm like, son, what
did you hear everything? No, you did. You didn't even hear most of this shit. Like, you only played one game.
Facts.
And that's the thing that's annoying about this whole conversation, is that I gotta shit on a good game because y'all just can't shut the fuck up. Like, you guys really can't. You didn't even play. Like, I'm surprised y'all didn't even play Resident Evil 4. Like, that's how, like, because that's the closest to this like other game that I can think of. It's sad, really, that this is like the best game, that you guys think this is like the best game. This is as good as it's gonna get. And the reason I say it's sad is because, like, people were afraid of Baldur's Gates games, like Baldur's Gate being like the upper echelon and things that are like everybody's gonna try to strive for that. They're not. Why? Because people are still eating up Spider-Man and think that turn-based is ass. Truly, it just kind of shows like your ignorance over a variety of the different games. And I like this. These are some harsh words, but like, yo, if you're really sitting here and saying this game is ass because it's not turn-based, because you didn't play or it doesn't seem interesting to you, then you just truly don't know. Like, that's really just what it comes down to. Like, it's just like, it's like arguing with it. It's kind of like arguing with a kid. It's like, yo, how's about you like branch out? Do you know about these concepts? Do you know about these things? Do you understand that in Baldur's Gate you can storm a castle by stacking up 45 crates on top of each other? Like, you don't know that.
For real, bro.
Like, you don't understand that. Why? Because like, you're like, well, Venom was cool. Like, that's awesome. Like, you guys really sat there and saw the same Venom story you've seen a million times before, on a PlayStation though,
And
we're like,
and complained because he walked through fire and complained.
yeah. Like a lot of y'all were like, some of y'all even missed the whole why he called himself Venom, and
Yep.
like, and then
The
y'all want to
literal
talk
point.
about y'all want to talk about narratives, but y'all not even paying attention to your own game. Like
Facts.
you can't even.
Facts.
They're cookie cutting it for you, and the one part they didn't cookie cut, you missed it, bro. This is like, I don't know what to tell you. Like it's just kind of sad because it's like, as much as I would love to explain to you why Baldur's Gate 3 is better, I don't think you have the capacity to ingest this information. Because if you can't even get past the fact that like you're looking at gameplay of like turn-based, and then you're looking at gameplay of like somebody smashing square for 30 minutes and then tapping circle when a light pops up, like if you think that is peak gaming, is just a rhythm game to like deconstruction of like that's because that's all it is just like, it's just Batman Arkham City with Spider-Man. And there's a lot of improvements to the system, but it's not a new system. It's not a crazy different like concept. It's the same shit. And I don't even know to this day, I don't think Spider-Man even has a new game plus mode. Right? Like you beat the game.
Off the top of my head, I don't think
look
so.
it up. Like, but when you play Baldur's Gate, when you spend $60 on or $70 on Baldur's Gate, and you can play this game multiple different endings, good and bad, multiple different races, multiple different classes. Every single voice line is voice acted in with quality voice acting too. These are like really good cutscenes, really good like designs. And you're sitting here and you're telling me like, nah, I'd rather play an MJ mission. Hey, bro, that's you. You got it. It's like trying to. It's just I can't teach you anymore. I can't,
bro. It's wild. It's wild, man. It's just.
I think the new game plus will be in December supposedly. Is what I'm seeing.
And again, I hate pitting two bad bitches against each other. You know what I'm saying? It's not what I want to do in this life. It's not me. I'm an enjoyer. I like to enjoy all things and never compare, because comparison is the thief of joy. But a lot of y'all have misconstrued what quality is just because you won't look outside your own house. And that's sad. That's sad. Gaming is meant to be explored. If gaming tells you one thing, one of the main things that gaming probably encourages you to do is explore. That's what Spider-Man encouraged you to do. Literally, for all you people who play Spider-Man, it encouraged you to explore because they put so much stuff over this map. Go explore. Why not explore something out of your own genre, out of your own comfort zone? And oh, I got a video for y'all coming soon. That's a whole nother damn thing. Let me not even. Anyways, to the positive though, real quick. Baldur's Gate 3 is generational, man. We said it before, we'll say it again. Baldur's Gate 3 is generational. This set the standard. I don't even want to talk about the gameplay, the depth and quality of it, the performances, you know what I'm saying, all that stuff. I'm gonna say one thing. This year, there was a game developer who came out and said on a news outlet, they set the bar way too high. What do gamers expect trying to get a Baldur's Gate 3 out of us? They set the bar too high. That's too much quality. I don't like it. Game developers were mad this game came out because they set the bar too high. I rest my case.
Yeah. Like when Spider-Man dropped, nobody was sitting there like, whoa, the game has changed.
You know what I'm saying?
Like everybody was like, oh, it's a solid game. Like even I was shocked at how little reception Spider-Man was getting. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. It looks pretty cool. It looks pretty all right. And like Baldur's Gate drops and like you know how crazy it would be if like fucking Vince Staples dropped an album and Drake tweeted out, I hope y'all not expecting everybody to make albums like Vince Staples. Like y'all would be like, whoa, Drake is hey, whoa, this motherfucker's cooking over here, right? Gotta be. But y'all not looking at it this way because a lot of y'all just don't read enough, I guess. Like I don't know, I really don't know what it is. Like a lot of y'all just want like very gratifying, like I think y'all just want to watch like TV in your games. Like I don't know what it is. Like it just seems it's just so boring when you only consume the same 3 different kinds of genres.
It's the failure of familiarity. You'll never know what's better because you're stuck. You think this is the apex. You think this is the best because you've never tried anything out of a fear of it being worse. You know what I'm saying? I found what I know. Let me stick to it. And it's such a human fault, bro, sometimes. Again, because we're all either scared or risk averse or whatever. Try some other shit because you might find something better or better yet, might find something you personally like that's just different. It's just different. You could find something that's great for you that's just different from what you know. Oh man, should be blowing me, man. Go play some fucking games. If this year didn't tell you anything else besides play other games, gaming is not stale. Your tastes are. Go find some other shit. Damn, nigga. They about to piss me off. Anyways,